Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of
The Melrose Gaming Garage.
I'm David Kendrickin,
I'm Jimmy Cavino.
and we have an amazing show in store for you today.
Yes,
It's all
we
about
do.
video games. It's all about PC games. It's all about PC and video games,
And anything that has to do with them.
including a special guest. His name is Paul. He mods Xboxes. He's an amazing fellow. I say that platonically. We'll get to him in a little while. First,
Command and Conquer 3.
Command & Conquer 3. This is going to be our first segment. We call it the Speculation Station, where
Such
we
an
speculate.
awful name.
It's Jimmy came up with it. That's why it's bad.
It's totally not my idea.
Anyways, on this segment, we're going to talk about an up-and-coming game called Command & Conquer 3: Tiberium Wars. Now, I'm a big fan of Tiberian Sun, which is Command & Conquer 2, and this game was just so awesome. I'm not even gonna lie to you, audience members out there. But honestly, I'm really excited about the third game. So basically, every episode of this show that comes out before the game itself comes out, we'll have a speculation station about that game. So we're gonna have a very good friend of ours, Sky, come in and argue with us, because really we just pretend to like him, but he puts up a good argument, so we're gonna do that.
The state of the planet is deteriorating. Tiberium infestation has reached critical levels. Red zones have suffered the worst contamination and cannot support human life. Yellow zones are dangerously contaminated, but contain most of the world's population. The remainder of the Earth's surface is unscarred by Tiberium outbreak. These blue zones are considered the last refuge and hope of the civilized world, and are under the protection of the Global Defense Initiative.
So here's the deal. Basically, we're just going to talk about CNC3 for like maybe 15 minutes or something. And
Maybe 5.
yeah, maybe whatever. Basically, we just wanted, and we need to find people to argue about it. So we brought in our good friend Sky DeFranza.
Hello.
Sky, thanks for being on the show today. Some people out there might recognize you as one of the original members of the original show, PC and Video Game Chat, which is probably 100 times more awesome than this show could ever hope to be, except for the part that you were involved in.
And we have a couch.
Right. And so basically, we have Sky, and Sky is going to argue that the secret race that no one has really disclosed yet for CNC3 is going to be what, Sky?
The Skrin. The Skrin are an alien race that have been shown in Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. They are... No one really knows what they are. All we know is that they have UFOs and some nifty little technology, like plasma cannons and stuff like that.
Plasma cannons. You heard it here first.
So, Jimmy, do you agree with Sky?
God, no.
Well, what do you think the third faction should be?
Well, basically, Tiberium is already destroying Earth, so why would they invade now? Why?
To capitalize on their terraforming. The idea of... In Tiberian Sun, Tiberium is one of the theories is that Tiberium is a terraforming device used by the Skrin. So, the idea is that the new race might be Skrin settlers coming in to take advantage of the what they sowed.
But why not just wait for everybody on Earth to be dead and then go in?
So, Jimmy, who do you think it is?
Oh,
If it's not if not the aliens that originated Tiberium, then who?
I think it's gonna be Yuri.
No, explain to our viewers who Yuri is.
For those of you who may or may not remember, Yuri was the crazy psychic communist, as seen in Red Alert 2. Yeah, but
He had his own faction in Red Alert 2, the expansion pack.
Expansion
Yuri's
Pack,
Revenge,
yes. He had mutants.
I
and
think that's a
clones.
stupid idea. I personally think your opinion is very stupid.
it's very stupid.
horrid.
It's
All right, well, here's what I think. Personally, I would like to believe that the third faction is the mutants, the Tiberium mutants, the people that were mutated by Tiberium and are basically like crazy post-apocalyptic, kind of crazy guys.
The Forgotten.
The Forgotten. That's who I think. The Forgotten. Anyone who's familiar with Tiberian Sun knows who the Forgotten are. I don't know if anyone who is familiar with Tiberian Sun thinks they're as cool as I think.
I disagree.
Now, why do you disagree, Scott?
I disagree because the Forgotten are namely insurgent faction. All they have old, worn-out vehicles from the first Tiberian War, which is modern-day vehicles. When everyone else has like laser cannons and
Well, no,
jetpacks
you're
and
talking
hover
about
vehicles.
you're talking about the Forgotten as seen in Tiberian Sun. We're talking about the Forgotten as they will appear in CNC3, which I think, since Tiberium is much more widespread in the CNC3 world than it was in Tiberian Sun, which was the second one, I think the Forgotten will have spread their influence, and more people will be mutated, so more people will have joined the Forgotten, and basically they could acquire better technology. There's no telling that they, couldn't have gotten better technologies between the two games, and they could be a much stronger faction now.
But also, in the same way, Tiberium mutations caused in humans, namely the Forgotten, cause humans to die a lot quicker. So their lifespan is only a course of 20 years or so.
Right, but
That and the only human survivors are now in these giant cities that are
in the blue zones.
in the blue zones, in the area where Tiberium hasn't really affected as much.
That's only where the rich people are, actually.
Not rich
It's kind of
people.
like
just all
Fiddler's
GDI
Green.
people.
It's kind of like Fiddler's Green.
It
Upper
is.
class. Well,
Oh yeah.
the thing about that is, like I said, Sky, there's just so much Tiberium that there's so many mutants that even if their life expectancy has decreased greatly because of the mutation, really there's just going to be so many of them that I think I mean, is it announced, Jimmy?
I believe there was some rumors that it was, but nothing that was actually
was-
confirmed by E EA.
Some rumors that it was the aliens.
Yes.
Well, you know what? With a name like Skrin, they're not going to be fuzzy.
Why don't you tell some audience members what some other alleged factions could be?
Well, there was Yuri, which was probably one of the worst ideas anybody has ever come up with, and there were robots. That's robots.
Did the robots have to do with anything? In the
No,
other
they
games?
didn't
Yes,
actually.
they do.
For like the two
robots-
people in Melrose who have played Tiberian Sun, were there
In-
any robots?
Yes.
There were.
Actually, the robots come from in the second game, Tiberian Sun, Firestorm, in the expansion pack to the second game rather. There was a cyborg and robot insurrection in the Nod ranks, one of the other factions. What happened was each faction has an AI that controls their units when they're off doing missions. The what's it called? The GDI's one is called Ava, and the Nod one is called Cabal. What happened is Cabal gained sentience and decided to do its own little thing and took over all the cyborg commandos, cyborg infantry, all the vehicles that he could, and he just started fighting back against Nod and tried to take over the world. I'm not sure that Cabal was ever really defeated. A lot of his army was damaged, but there's no, from what I remember, there is no definitive end to Cabal.
As far as I'm concerned, though, robots they can't evolve, so they're just gonna have the same stuff they had before. Nothing.
What do you mean they can't evolve?
They can make new stuff. They're
Well,
smart.
they're robots, though. They're not gonna
sentient,
make
though.
anything new. Like, back in Red Alert 2, Yuri broke off from the Soviets, and they had all sorts of his mutant cloning stuff, and they expanded on that. With Cabal, there's not a whole lot to expand on, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can. You can in Tiberian Sun, the cyborg commandos and the cyborg infantries. What they would do is, like, the cyborg infantry would have a chain gun for an arm, but cyborgs are underneath Cabal's control. So what would stop Cabal from maybe replacing that chain gun with a rocket launcher or lasers
Or a Tiberium shard shotgun machine creature.
yes,
device.
an autocannon that shoots Tiberium shards.
No. What I just said. We'll
Exact-
repeat the clip. Or a
Or-
Tiberium shard shotgun machine creature.
Yes,
device.
an auto. Yes.
Well, I don't know
And plus,
because
they can always. They
so
always
what
have
are you're gonna have 20 cyborgs, each one with a different gun, but they all basically look the same?
No, you can have. You know the cyborg reapers?
Yeah.
Those
Oh.
are different. You can have fast attack